Hello, my name is Adam Melle, and I'm a recreation coordinator of all the Skyline Regional Park programs. I'm out here today to give you a virtual plant hike of the Sonoran Desert. We're going to make 10 to 12 stops along the Red-tailed Hawk Trail and just kind of get to know some of the plants of this desert. First off, this is Skyline Regional Park, and the park is about 4.5 years old. And it's pretty well known for its 8,650 square acres of land, 22 miles of trails for hiking, biking, equestrian trail riding, and it also has 5 different summits. So my first plant I'm going to speak about is the Palo Verde tree. It means green sticks in Spanish. These are pieces of art that kind of grow in every direction. But how do they survive this intense summer desert heat? Well, they have a couple of adaptations. First off, notice that they have little to no leaves all year round. That is to prevent water loss to the transpiration of leaves. And number 2, check out how green the bark of this tree is. That is chlorophyll. It's a really important habitat for small animals, large animals, and then look even closer and you're gonna notice the blossoms. This is the late season of wildflowers. These blossoms, once pollinated, change into the pea pods. They are a total legume plant, which are totally edible. You just have to get to them fast before they dry out. They taste, in my opinion, better than a sweet pea pod purchased in a grocery store. All right, my next stop is on the Ironwood Tree, which is this plant right here. They get one of the thickest, heaviest woods in the world. They live up to 800 years, and that is a total adaptation, that thick, dense wood, for transferring water to the leaves. Notice how that ironwood has leaves all year round, unlike the softer wood of the Palo Verde tree. They're also pretty well known for their pink lavender flowers that they'll get in the month of June. All right, this is going to be my next stop on the creosote bush, also known as the chaparral, greasewood, and desert plant of rain. It gets that nickname because it releases a certain smell after a rainstorm. If you just take your hands up to the leaves like this, cup it, get a good smell of it, you will recognize the smell. It's not the rain that smells, it's this plant right here, nicknamed the desert plant of rain. It also produces a resin that drops to the ground, neutralizes the soil around it, and this is one of the oldest living plants on planet Earth. All right, this is an Ocotillo. Most of the year, these guys do look like dead sticks. It's one of my favorite plants. After rainstorms though, that's when they get those green leaves. It did rain a few weeks ago. So they will get green leaves several times a year. I want you to look even closer at this and check out those beautiful red blossoms. Those are actually edible. They can be put on top of a salad, add some flavor, add some color. But those tubular-like flowers are perfect for hummingbirds. Another thing I want you to notice is these spikes. These trees are often confused for being a cactus when in fact they are a tree. That bark right here surrounding the wood makes it a tree. All right, this is my next stop on the teddy bear cholla, also known as the jumping cactus. They don't actually jump at you, but instead, if you barely brush by one of these, the joint of this plant will actually attach to you. What they have is these microscopic barbs you cannot see with your eyes. They easily get stuck to your skin, but tough to remove. The best thing you can use is not a pair of pliers, but instead a regular hair comb. Let's say a javelina or a mule deer passes by one of these and they get stuck by one of these joints right here. Eventually it will fall to the ground, and when it falls to the ground, guess what they do? They actually start to root. So they not only spread by seed, but they spread by the joint of the plant itself. I also want you to take another closer look at this particular one, and you will see a cactus wren nest up there. Cactus wrens at this time of the year will build not 1, not 2, but 3 nests in different teddy bear chollas. They act as decoys for predators like whip snakes will crawl right up this, feed on the fledgling or the eggs. They can also be used as a roosting spot for the cactus wrens too. All right, this is my next stop on the Saguaro Cactus. This is like the green gem giant of the Sonoran Deserts. They have a very interesting life cycle. Get this, at the age of 8 years old, they're only about 1 inch tall. And then they really start to grow. At the age of 25, that's when they start to grow the blossoms. And at the age of 70 to 75, that's when they start to grow their arms. The blossoms typically bloom in the month of June. I am seeing early saguaro blossoms already though. The blossom is actually the state symbol, Arizona state symbol of blossoms. They get this bright white color, really beautiful, but if you ever get a smell of one, it doesn't smell very good. They are night blooming blossoms. They open at night, they close the next day, and their #1 pollinator is the bat. The fruits actually taste really good. Indigenous people will use it as a syrup, a jam, or even it can even be made into a wine. The tallest Saguaro cactus record is 62 feet tall. That's like stacking 10 of me on top of my shoulders. And they will live 250 to 300 years. My next stop is right here on the barrel cactus, also known as a fishhook or compass cactus. They get that name fishhook because of that curvature on their spikes. It's also a good way to tell the difference between these and the saguaro. Barrel cactuses will only get up to 4 to 5 feet in height versus the saguaro gets much taller. The saguaro also has straight spikes. These have the curved ends, so that's how they get the name fishhook. But they're also known as compass cactuses because they typically grow in the southernmost direction where they can get the most sunlight. But if it's growing underneath a tree or bush, they will actually grow in any direction to get the most sunlight. These are actually really cool looking plants after big rainstorms. You will see that bright red highlighted color. Okay, my next stop is right here on the Hedgehog Cactus. This is one of the rarest cactus you can find in Arizona. They produce these bright purple blossoms that once pollinated become a fruit. They're also known as the strawberry hedgehog cactus. That's because these fruits right here taste just like that. But you have to get to them fast because the squirrels love the taste of them too. Join us for more programs at Skyline Regional Park once this epidemic ends. Stay posted on Facebook. Thank you.